I would like to begin by stating, Black success in Hollywood is in spite of systemic oppression and not because of it. This video is about cancel culture and race. Who gets forgiven in America? Cancel culture is supposed to be about accountability, about holding powerful people responsible for their harmful actions. But in America, not everyone faces the same consequences. Again and again, it seems that when Black celebrities stumble, the punishment is harsher and longer lasting than when white celebrities do the same thing, or even worse.
He would often just start having an argument with me in the middle of the night, start accusing me of doing all sorts of things, planning to leave him in my head. He'd wake me up and tell me I was disgusting, that I was vile.
All the things that he was accusing you of were absolutely not true.
Nothing was ever true. Like, this is the thing, but I would really doubt myself, you know, especially when I'd like wake up and he'd be like, you were lying there with your eyes open, planning to leave me. And I'd be like, I literally was asleep. But then he would like only want me to sleep naked because he said if I didn't, then I was keeping myself from him. So, you know, it's a tactic that a lot of abusers use. It's just this like constant availability and everything centered around them. And I think, you know, that's why I wanted to come out and talk about this, because the signs really are there from the beginning.
I know I'm blessed today. I know I got work to do, and I know that it's all gonna be okay in the end. And if it's not okay, it's not the end.
Some white celebrities in Hollywood who have faced accusations, scandals, racist rants, or even criminal allegations, yet have largely maintained success, influence, and career in the industry.
This is Sean Penn, an American. I believe in all of you, and I'm grateful to all of you for being the very best of what we all aspire to be. You're not only defending your country, you're truly defending the world, and that will be known and seen. And I know you'll prevail. And God bless all of you and your families. Thank you.
Sean Penn, who faced long-standing allegations of domestic abuse.
Stork, you know me? I do. You're not the only one cursed with knowledge.
Josh Brolin, who was accused of domestic violence. Sheen.
I wanted to ask you is, do you think I've been a good role model?
Are you kidding? You drink, you gamble, you have different women here practically every night. You're the best role model a guy could want.
Who is known for his violent outbursts. Mel Gibson.
And I mean, I don't think it's any secret. I am flawed in the fact that I am by nature born an alcoholic, right? I did drugs, I did alcohol, so, and there was nothing that could stop me from doing that. So I regard the fact that I was able to appeal to something greater than myself to help me and actually stop me doing that. I think that's a miracle. It is, for me it is.
Was caught in multiple racist, sexist, and anti-Semitic rants.
Happy Sunday, everybody. God bless you. Stay prayed up.
Mark Wahlberg, who has a documented history of racially motivated hate crimes. Woody Allen, who was accused for decades of child abuse. Roman Polanski, who was convicted of unlawful acts with a 13-year-old minor. Ozzy Osbourne, known for domestic violence admissions. Eric Clapton, who went on racist rants in the 1970s. Bill O'Reilly, who had multiple harassment settlements. Louis C.K., who had admitted to misconduct. Roseanne Barr, who had so many racist tweets but still maintains a platform. Versus Chris Brown, Will Smith, and even R. Kelly to a degree. The double standard is impossible to ignore. So today we ask, what role does race actually play in cancel culture? First, what does cancel culture actually mean? Cancel culture isn't a law or a sentence handed down by a judge. It's a cultural punishment, loss of fans, endorsements, opportunities, or reputation. Sometimes it's temporary and sometimes it's permanent. But whether someone comes back or stays cancelled often depends less on what they did and more on how society sees them. So let's take a look at examples like Sean Penn, Josh Brolin, Charlie Sheen versus Chris Brown. Let's start with violence and abuse. Sean Penn was accused multiple times of domestic violence in the 1980s, including allegations of physical assault against Madonna. Despite this, he went on to win 2 Academy Awards and continues to enjoy respect as a Hollywood icon. Josh Brolin, another celebrated actor, has also faced domestic violence allegations, yet his career hardly suffered, with roles in blockbuster franchises like The Avengers and Deadpool.
Hey, buddy, I'm gonna be in People magazine.
Yeah, call me when you're on the cover.
Charlie Sheen's history is even more extreme. Allegations of domestic violence, drug abuse, erratic behavior, and public meltdowns. He still secured a massive payday from 2.5 Men and continues to appear in popular culture as a kind of chaotic anti-hero. Now compare these careers to Chris Brown. After the 2009 assault of Rihanna, when Chris Brown was 19, with an underdeveloped frontal lobe, he apologized. He went to court. He admitted guilt. He did community service. He served jail time. He was forgiven by Rihanna. 16 years later, Chris Brown's reputation never recovered. Despite his continued success in music, his name is permanently tied to that one night at age 19. He lost endorsements, radio play, and mainstream acceptance. What's the difference? When white men in Hollywood have histories of violence, their reputations are often separated from their actions, separating the talent from the man. However, when a black artist does the same thing, this stain never fades. Now let's take a look at Will Smith versus Roman Polanski. The reason for this comparison is because both of them are Academy Award winners.
I think that she had the hardest job of all of us because she really had to open the door. And she really took some knocks. It couldn't have been easy.
Well, Hattie McDaniel goes to the Academy Awards in 1940, and it's a whites-only ballroom. She's only there because an exception is made for her to attend. And the cast and the producer, David O. Selznick, are all sitting together at the Gone with the Wind table, but Hattie McDaniel is not seated there. We have an image of her the night that was taken where you can barely see her face at the bottom of the picture because she's so far on the edge of the room. Like she's kind of just allowed to be in there.
I sincerely hope I shall always be a credit to my race and to the motion picture industry. My heart is too full to tell you just how I feel. And may I say thank you.
She was the first African American to win Hollywood's highest prize. And it was to be years before there would be another winner.
Will Smith in 2022 slapped comedian Chris Rock during the Oscars. It was shocking, yes, but it wasn't lethal. It was embarrassing, yes, for the both of them. Still, the Academy responded with a 10-year ban from attending its ceremonies. Contrast that with Roman Polanski. In the 1970s, Polanski pled guilty to unlawful actions with a 13-year-old girl, then fled the US to avoid sentencing. Despite these well-known facts, the Academy went on to award him Best Director in 2003 for The Pianist. Even in exile, he received Hollywood's highest honor. He was never banned from the Academy Awards. So here's the question: how does a black actor get banned for a slap, while a white director who is convicted of a serious crime celebrated with an Oscar? I need to state this categorically. I do not condone bad behavior. But I have to notice that white people are treated better than black people in Hollywood. There's no excusing bad behavior, but the implications are vastly different depending on race. So let's move on to the next comparisons. Woody Allen versus R. Kelly. The Woody Allen versus R. Kelly comparison tells the same story. Woody Allen has faced disturbing allegations of child abuse for several decades, including claims made by his adopted daughter, Dylan Farrow. And yet, he continued making films, casting A-list stars and earning accolades. Only recently, under reviewed scrutiny, has his reputation begun to dim. By contrast, R. Kelly.
Do you like teenage girls? When you say teenage, how old are we talking? Girls who are teenagers.
I need somebody to help me not have a big heart, because my heart is so big. People betray me, and I keep forgiving. I hope this camera keep going.
No, we're gonna let the camera keep rolling. Okay,
This is not, doesn't even make sense. Me, y'all, I'm fighting for my life. Y'all killing me with this. I gave y'all 30 years of my career.
Robert.
30 years of my career.
Was finally convicted in 2021 after years of allegations of abuse of underage girls. Before his conviction, however, Kelly had been publicly shunned, boycotted, and culturally cancelled. He was held accountable for his crimes. His music was pulled from streaming platforms, and his name became synonymous with predation. The double standard is glaring. Woody Allen's genius is shielded from his decades-long predation, while R. Kelly was treated like a monster long before the courts reached the verdict. There is a role of race in societal forgiveness. So what's going on? Why does cancel culture seem less forgiving of black celebrities? Firstly, there's stereotypes and perception. In American culture, black men have been long stereotyped as violent, dangerous, and hypersexual. When they're accused of wrongdoing, these old stereotypes are activated, making redemption harder. White men, by contrast, are often framed as troubled, complicated, or even tortured geniuses, which leaves room for sympathy. Secondly, power and protection. Hollywood is run largely by white executives and white decision makers. These networks of power often rally around white stars, investing in their comebacks. Black stars rarely receive the same protection.
And you know that it's not true. It's to slice you up. It's to bring you down. It's to demean you. It's to bring you into a place where you start to believe that there's something wrong with you. There's plenty wrong with me. There's plenty wrong with a lot of people. Small insults and teenage sort of high school tactics. Bullying, if you will. It was becoming too much.
So why did you stay with Miss Heard given this type of behavior?
That's a very complicated answer. I'm sure that it's somehow related to my father remaining stoic as my mother would beat him to death. I'm sure it had a lot to do with having been in a beautiful, wonderful 14, 15-year relationship with Vanessa, the mother of my children.
Thirdly, there's media framing. Media language matters. White celebrities' struggles are often described as battles with demons or personal challenges, while black celebrities are painted as criminals or thugs. That framing influences how audiences respond. Then there's cultural memory. For black figures, one mistake can define their entire career, while for white celebrities, their wrongdoing, even if it's consistent, is often treated as a footnote to a bigger legacy. So why does this matter? This isn't just about celebrities. It reflects the broader racial inequalities in American society, injustice, in opportunity, and in public perception. Cancel culture is supposed to be about accountability. But when the consequences depend on race, it reinforces the same inequities it claims to challenge. When Will Smith was banned for a slap, while Roman Polanski is honored, when Chris Brown is dragged through the mud for life, while Charlie Sheen is memed into comedy, it sends a message. Black people are less deserving of forgiveness. Cancel culture reveals a lot about who society is willing to forgive and who society is not willing to forgive. The evidence shows a clear racial double standard. White men in Hollywood get redemption arcs, while black men are defined by their mistakes. Until accountability is applied consistently, regardless of race, cancel culture will remain less about justice and more about reinforcing America's deepest inequalities.